Welcome everybody to another amazing episode of Wellness Warriors. And today I have a very interesting topic, vaginal dryness, the most embarrassing feminine health problem. It's not something we openly talk about, but today we are going to do that with Dr. Sherrill Sellman. She's a colleague, a friend of mine. We've known each other for many, many years. And Dr. Sellman is a naturopathic doctor, an educator, a women's natural health expert, a psychotherapist, a journalist in the field of holistic health. She's very passionate about advocating for regaining hormonal health naturally and reclaiming feminine wisdom. She's been in the wellness field for over 40 years. She's written several books. One of them, my favorite, is What Women Must Know to Protect Their Daughters from Breast Cancer. And another great book is The Hemp Health Revolution, the A to Z health benefits of hemp extract. But today we're going to talk about vaginal dryness. So welcome, Dr. Sherrill.
Well, it's great to be with you, Dr. V. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm excited to talk about this. We kind of hear whispers about it, and maybe, during cocktail hour, tea hour, whatever, women may discuss it privately, but, it's not something that women openly discuss. And I'm just curious, what was your motivation to create a product like this? It's vaginal suppositories, hygiene.
Well, you're right. This isn't cocktail hour conversation very often. Women get really embarrassed. So what got me interested and why I am so passionate about this was from my own personal journey, because when I was in my mid 40s, I started to have really painful sex. I didn't even understand why. But I discovered that I was dealing with vaginal dryness. And when those tissues dry up and there's no lubrication, I can tell you sex is so painful. And it was a new phenomenon for me. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't understand it. I was pretty desperate to find a solution to this issue. So in my 40s, I was aware of this. Now, we think of vaginal dryness as something that is common in menopause, which it is. I might think 3/4 of women over the age of 60 have vaginal dryness, but it's also found in younger women as well, like myself when I was in my 40s. So that made me very aware of this issue. And then consulting with women over these many years, I see it as a problem that is very common, actually. And it's something that women don't like to talk about. They're very shy about it, but it can be very debilitating on many fronts, and also can lead to health problems if we don't understand what a healthy vagina is all about and how to restore proper functioning back to the vagina.
So is vaginal dryness associated with vaginal atrophy or shrinking of the vaginal tissue?
Right. So when we talk about vaginal dryness or vaginal atrophy, a few things are happening. First of all, you're lacking the production of the mucus. There's a mucus that is surrounding the vaginal tract. So that's healthy. And I remember when I was did a lot of lecturing, and I used to have do you remember these things? They're like a little microscope, and you could put your saliva on the end, and you could see a ferning pattern, and then that will indicate whether you're ovulating or not, because that's the mucus that changes throughout the month. So we secrete a mucus. We also, in a healthy vagina, secrete a clear liquid, it's from the blood. It's like filtered by the cells from the bloodstream, and it's actually a clear liquid that is also produced to help lubricate and nourish the tissues. And then what happens is that as we are under stress or malnourished or hormonal disruptions or changes going on, the tissues actually themselves lack that ability to hold moisture. So the tissues literally dry out, and then you can create lesions. The tissues can actually tear, and you can start spotting. And that protective barrier that the mucosal membrane provides and the lubrication it provides is breached in a sense. So then you're more vulnerable to alter the microbiome in the vagina. You're more vulnerable to UTIs. You're more vulnerable to STDs. So it's really important to have a healthy vaginal environment because there are many health issues that can be exacerbated without that. So that's why I'm really passionate about this subject, because I see so many women suffering and looking for solutions and thinking the only thing they have is to go and get hormones to help. And I had the opportunity to talk to a manufacturer who made these natural products in various forms of suppositories, which is a great delivery system, by the way. And we were having a conversation. He said, if I could, come up with any need that was out there, what would it be? And so the first thing that came to my mind was, oh my God, a good vaginal suppository. And then he said, what would be in it? And this was like off the cuff. I hadn't thought about it. And I rattled off about 7 ingredients because I knew there were products out there that had 1 or 2, but in my research and as I was learning about this, what really is required, I came up with a list of about 7. And that is basically what created Hygiena. Those are the 7 ingredients. So it's unique. There is no other product that has put together these ingredients. And I really give credit to the lab for working it and figuring out how to make it work as as an effective suppository. So that's the story.
That's great. So let's go through the ingredients and tell us why they're beneficial and why you chose them for the formula.
Okay. Well, you have a favorite one you want to start with, or we just jump in?
Yeah, just jump in.
Okay, so one of the ingredients is called Pereira mirifica. Pereira mirifica, which probably most people haven't heard of. But I heard about it many years ago because I, in my research, came across this herb. It's grown in Thailand. It actually was used by the royal family. It's in the form of kudzu root, which you may have heard of, but it's a variety that is grown in Thailand. And this herb has been in Thailand renowned for rejuvenation of men and women. It helps with, libido and stamina and beauty. And it was, kind of secret in Thailand. A lot of the royal families were using it, but it wasn't widely disseminated. And there's an American who went over to Thailand. He was a naturopath and researcher and started investigating this herb. And that's how I found out about it. And I had conversations with him. And it's been used as an herb in formulas now to act. It's like a phytoestrogen. It has estrogenic properties without stimulating the estrogen receptor. So there's no risk. So it's been used internally to help women with hormonal imbalances and correct them. But it also is part of the formula in Hygiena because it has the same effect as if you were using an estrogen. It's like a phytoestrogen without any side effects that helps to plump up the tissues because estrogen's job in the body is to help plump up the tissues, amongst other things. And when the estrogen levels are altered, which, by the way, women after childbirth can have vaginal dryness as well because their hormones are being altered, or by the way, also women on the pill can have vaginal dryness because the pill can, again, alter the proper hormonal production, and it shows up as a symptom of vaginal dryness. So Pereira mirifica is one of those amazing herbs that has been purified as an extract, and that extract is one of the key ingredients in Hygiena. So that's Pereira mirifica. And it's so interesting because I did learn about this, I would say 10 years ago. It wasn't on the radar for many people, and it always stayed on my radar. And because it's been purified and an extract has been made, it is available now to be put into formula. So It's one of the ingredients in the Hygiena. So the second ingredient that is really amazing and people probably have heard about is hyaluronic acid. So hyaluronic acid, it's a molecule that we make naturally, and it helps to hold moisture into the skin. It also helps to increase the transport of nutrients across the barrier into the cells, so it enhances absorption of nutrients. And it absorbs 1,000 times its weight in water. So it's phenomenal. Now, babies have those little, beautiful skin, puffy cheeks. Why? Because they have high amounts of hyaluronic acid. And as we age, we produce less and less. So you can take it as a supplement. And I learned about hyaluronic acid many years ago as well, especially going to the Natural Products Expo. That was my favorite booth. I would go to the hyaluronic acid people and get all these great skincare products. And it's also good for, by the way, hyaluronic acid can lubricate dry eyes. And that just became a natural product, which has been used in other products for vaginal health. And it was a must to put into this formula. So it is able to increase the hydration of the cells in the vagina. So it's like watering a plant that has been dried up, right?
Right.
And so it's going to bring the moisture back to the cells that have literally become dehydrated. Great ingredient, no side effects. By the way, none of the ingredients in this product have any known side effects, known toxicity. They're all perfectly safe, non-toxic, which can't be said for other products on the market or other lubricants, because this product can be used as a lubricant, but it's not its main function. It's kind of one of the benefits of it. Okay, so then we have omega-7, sea buckthorn. This was a product that many years ago I interviewed on my podcast a woman from a company who was talking about the benefits of sea buckthorn, which I never really knew anything about. Sea buckthorn, which is a plant that grows on the western side of the Himalayas. It's a little berry that's used. It produces an oil, which is omega-7. So here's the amazing thing about omega-7. Omega-7 is able to restore the healthy membranes to cells. So the membranes have to be have a certain viscosity to them, or you can't transport nutrients across them. If they dry up, then you don't have a functioning cell. So the omega-7 of sea buckthorn has been researched to help to create the cell integrity throughout the body. I actually take omega-7 as a supplement every day because it helps to establish this healthy cell membrane. So that's good for the body as well as the skin, by the way. And when it's used in Hygiena, it's again used to help create a healthy environment, create healthy cells, to restore them to their proper functioning. So you can get that, the tissues are healthy, the lubrication is healthy, they're producing the fluids, they're healing, and they're healing any lesions or inflammation, because when that environment dries out, you're altering the gut, the microbiome, which we can talk about in the vagina, and you're creating inflammation. And when the environment in the vagina is altered, you also could be more vulnerable to things like candida, bacterial vaginosis, and even, STDs.
Viral issues,
So,
right.
Yeah, so, so cancer can be, even cervical cancer can be a risk. That's why it's so important that we understand how to create and restore a healthy vaginal environment. Okay, so then we have one of my favorite products, which is it's a silver soul product. So for many, many years, I have been learning, writing, and researching, and of course, using a very special form of patented silver. It's considered a nano silver technology, which means that it's a form of a colloidal silver that actually has been patented and has been tested to go in, and within 10 minutes, it can kill viruses, it can kill bacteria, it can kill fungi. Now, the Silver Soul technology is available in the form of a liquid, so I've been drinking it, seen amazing things happen. It's in the form of a topical gel, so you can use it on your skin, you can use it to heal wounds, burns, bites. I wouldn't be without it. I'm actually recommending that the Silver Soul gel be used as a hand sanitizer because it can keep your hands protected for up to 4 hours from exposure to bacteria and viruses. You know, once you use the commercial sanitizers that are alcohol based, once it dries, it offers no protection. And now everyone's complaining about dry skin and dermatitis and eczema. It's because those alcohols strip the oils off of your skin. I feel sorry for all the people in the shops. They're just using those horrible commercial sanitizers. And of course, it kills the natural biome in the environment, which the silver does not do. It doesn't harm your natural microbiome wherever it is. So what better product to put into this formula, to put this silver in? It's never been done before. To put this Silver Soul, this safe product, does not harm the natural microbiome of the vagina, has the ability to heal and reduce inflammations. It has the ability to go in and eliminate any of the harmful bacteria, viruses, or fungi like Candida. So it's healing to the environment, which is why this product is not just for menopausal women who have vaginal atrophy. It can be for women dealing with vaginal, with bacterial vaginosis, which actually is a common problem. Many people may never have heard of that condition, but and it creates like a fishy smell. So it's one way to detect it, but it's an alteration of the microbiome in the vagina. And if anyone is dealing with Candida, it can help heal, eliminate the Candida. And even if you've had any level of cervical dysplasia, it can go in and heal the viruses that are contributing to that. So it's an amazing ingredient. I've always wanted to use it as a some sort of vaginal health. So now it's in this ingredient, this product. Let's see what else we have. We have vitamin E.
Vitamin E.
So we know that the natural form of vitamin E is always wonderful healing for tissues. So it can heal any inflammation going on. It lubricates. There are vaginal suppositories made with just natural vitamin E. So we know that it is healing to tissues. We have natural vitamin E in this product. And the other ingredient is a form of aloe vera gel. And aloe vera is really interesting because it's such an amazing plant, and it has the ability, just look at the texture of aloe. It holds moisture. So it helps to, again, moisturize the cells, restore healthy functioning of the cells so they can maintain the moisture. But the other interesting thing about aloe vera that I've been learning about is that it has a natural sugar, so to speak, that is the food for the bacteria that need to be healthy in the vaginal tract. So it's kind of a prebiotic too, which is interesting, right? So it's providing healing and healing of inflammation and allowing the cells to actually get nutrients. It's providing an environment that your microbiome in your vaginal tract can be restored. And, it's a beautiful ingredient. So when you put all of those together, you have an amazing synergy for healing, for rejuvenation, for regeneration of those tissues in the vaginal tract. So, for younger women, if they aren't taking care of this, it can actually cause not only that vulnerability to sexually transmitted diseases or to candida, but they even finding if you alter the environment, the microbiome environment of the vaginal tract, vaginal tract, it can actually increase infertility or lead to problems with pregnancy. So this environment, which has been neglected, I think, for a really long time, is turning out to be critical for our health and well-being, and not just so we can enjoy sex and not have to worry about feeling uncomfortable even when you're walking. For some women who have severe atrophy, it's even uncomfortable to walk. You feel like you have sandpaper inside you.
Wow, wow. So you've put these products together. Amazing. Have there?
I also want to say for your community, for women listening, for those that have been put on some form of estrogen blocking drugs, tamoxifen, or serums of whatever form, as you are well aware, it shuts down all of the estrogen production in the body. And that's one way that shows up is vaginal dryness. So women who are taking certain medications get vaginal dryness. Antihistamines, what is an antihistamine? It dries things up. It can show up. It also can be caused by other medications like steroids, even high blood pressure medications. So certain medications can alter the environment in the vagina. And then, of course, women who've had hysterectomies are more vulnerable because they have had this major alteration of their hormones. And so there are a lot of reasons why this may be showing up in addition to the aging process.
No, that's so true. The anti-hormone drugs, amazing. So how do we use it?
So it's really easy to use. It's a suppository. And what you have to do, that's how it comes. I suggest, first of all, keep it in the fridge. So it's put in a base that's can get soft, the suppository. So because all these ingredients can really, when exposed to room temperature, can get very soft and they're slippery and hard to use. So put it in the fridge and harden the ingredients in the suppository, and then there's a casing around it, so you have to cut the top of the casing, peel it back. And I suggest, because that synergy is so powerful of those ingredients, you don't need to use a lot. And I recommend using either a half a suppository or a third of a suppository. And I also recommend using it at night while you're sleeping, because it stays in place. So it's really nourishing those tissues and doing its magic. And people ask me, well, how much do I use and how long do I use it for? And I say, how long's a piece of string? What's going on with you? Are you severely atrophied? Then you may need to use it every day for a month. Maybe you cut it in thirds and you have more use, it can last longer. Maybe you only need to use it for a week and then do it every couple of days. You have to monitor your body's response while you are also making sure you're taking good nutrition, taking good healthy fats, make sure you're properly hydrating. Maybe you want to take omega-7 as a supplement, or even aloe vera. You may want to take other nutrients internally that support. I'm a big fan of traditional Chinese medicine. So in my world with my patients, I work with a Chinese herbalist, and we can see the internal environment and what is needed to restore function to the areas like the vagina. Because if you're drying out, it's showing that you have an imbalance. In Chinese medicine, it's called yin deficiency, which happens with aging. So we can internally rejuvenate, and we can use the hygiene to externally support the health restoration of these tissues and proper lubrication, and create a healthy environment and create a healthy microbiome in the vagina, because that's really important. And I also want to say, if we're going to just mentioned the microbiome. So there are billions of bacteria that live inside the vaginal tract. It's not just the gut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're very sensitive to pH. So when you take commercial lubricants or commercial douches or maybe some of these other products, you actually can be altering the very delicate pH of the vagina and creating, like in the gut, an imbalance leading to vulnerability to bad bacteria. The lactobacillus is changed. You get more of the unwanted bacteria to proliferate, or you get more candida to grow. So the hygiene, as I'm realizing, when I'm learning more about the power of the synergy of those ingredients, can actually help restore a healthy environment for your microbiome in your vagina as well.
You know, we never.
Pretty cool, right?
It is a very, you know, I never really thought about vaginal microbiome. I mean, I knew the bacteria and everything existed, but not in the form of a, you know, a whole living entity culture, you know, just like the gut. So it's, yeah, very, very interesting. So
There's
you
a whole world going on in there.
the whole world going on down there. Yeah. So you've had women on this product. You've had women on this product for several months now. What kind of testimonials and feedback are you getting?
Yeah, I just got a testimonial from a friend, and she wrote, she said, when I die and they do an autopsy on my 90-year-old body, they're going to be amazed at how this woman had a 20-year-old vagina.
Oh, that's great.
So
that's
she's
great.
thrilled, you know. She just, and this friend of mine was just saying that she has been absolutely amazed how it has restored this vagina that had become very atrophied. And there's so many testimonials of women who tried lots of things and never really got results, and just found that taking Hygiena has made all the difference in the world and restored their sex life and healed a lot of maybe the candida issues. You know, I remember when I was when my mom, I was taking my mother to the hospital a lot, and she was in her 90s. And one of the things they would always do when you're in the emergency room, that's where you have to, that's where she entered the process, right? Taking her to the emergency room. So they wanted to do a culture on her, and found that she would often have a UTI, bladder infection. And they said it's really hard to, you know, get a catheter in because she was so atrophied. So the older you get, if you're not taking care of this, the more that dryness, and literally the vagina just closes down. And that's when you're vulnerable to UTIs. So it's one of the, you know, areas I want to educate women on. If they can keep their vaginas healthy, they're actually reducing their risk as they get older of UTIs, because that starts this whole cycle, right, of antibiotics, which creates more candida. And, you know, it was a horrible thing. And I saw that with my mother. And I know that if women of any age were using this, I have to say one other thing. There was a friend who had a form of cervical cancer, and she was irradiated. And what happened to her vagina, and what happened is that the radiation just destroyed the tissues of the vagina, and she became so atrophied and it closed up. Well, it was horrible for her and her marriage, her sex life. And she started using Hygiena, and it started restoring and lubricating those tissues again. And nothing else was able to do that. And that, to me, is worth everything to help women like that.
Oh,
you know, it's like we suffer in silence a lot of the time around these issues.
Yes, yes. And
you know, women usually, when they have them, if they're going to talk to their gynecologist, they're recommended an estrogen cream. So we can talk about that. And, you know, estrogen will help plump up tissues. It's usually estriol, which is a safer form of estrogen. And that can be helpful, no doubt. but you don't get all the benefits that you do from this synergy of ingredients. And also, it's pretty expensive to get prescription estrogens all the time. So if we can do something that is easily available, that has the benefit of the synergy of all those ingredients and the same results, if not better.
Right. Definitely.
So this is an option for women.
So you have a very generous special for us, and we'll post the link when we post the podcast. So you have a BOGO special, buy two for a discount of $30. And as you mentioned, you know, there's
well, it's so if you buy two, well, you buy one and you get two.
Oh, you buy one, you get two. Okay. So
yeah, it's bigger discount than $30.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
Actually, you're saving a lot more.
Definitely.
You know, you get a free container. Yeah.
And the fact that you only need to use maybe a third or a half, you don't have to use the whole suppository. You're looking at, you know, maybe 3 months supply there. So very generous offer. So thank you for that. We'll post that. And then you also mentioned a 15-minute consultation with you that goes along with that.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. I didn't know it's in it, but I will do that.
Okay.
I'm happy to talk with women. You know, it's like you, it's my passion. Right. And if people want to follow up and have a chat, absolutely. I think that would be fun to do, actually. So I'll honor that. Not a problem.
Okay.
You know, it's like you. This is a passion. It's really not about making money. You know, that's not how it works, right?
Right.
It's the passion. You want to be able to support women and offer solutions to problems that often we don't know where to go, and we don't know what to do, and we don't know why it's happening. And this is one of my pet projects, and I'm so thrilled that this person that when I talked to initially, and he said, you know, what would you like as your dream product? I didn't know him. I was just put on the phone. Someone said, here, talk to this guy. And it was a fluke in a sense. I mean, I didn't think anything would come of it. It took 9 months later for him to get back to me. He goes, I think we're ready to go now. So it feels like this product is, you know, divinely inspired, so to speak, how it all came about. And I do believe it will help to transform women's lives who are dealing with vaginal dryness, vaginal atrophy, candida, bacterial vaginosis, any of these conditions, to really create a healthy vagina and a healthy life.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. So thank you, Dr. Sherrill, for taking the time to share your information with us, and looking forward to hearing some positive feedback from the women in our community. So
that'd be wonderful.
Yes. So
thank you so much.
You're welcome. This is Dr. V sending you a big healing heart hug. Till next time. Bye for now.